So, in my years leading congregations, I gave a lot of sermons. Most of my sermons would last, I think, 16 to 18 minutes. If I have something particularly detailed to say, I always felt I had a right to go on a little bit longer. And I didn't mind looking out in the congregation once in a while and seeing someone going like this. What would bother me if I would see someone going like this. A woman came up to me one night, she said, "Rabbi, your sermon was absolutely superfluous." I said, "Thank you. Some of them will be published posthumously." She said, "Wonderful. I can't wait." I think it was the same woman another time. She said, "You know, Rabbi, each one of your sermons is better than the next." That's the toughest joke of the evening ever. I think about that. So during one of my first weeks at one of my congregations, at the reception after services, a man walked over to me, shook my hand. He said, "Shabbat Shalom, may you have a peaceful Sabbath. Your sermon was boring," and he walked away. Came over a second time, "Shabbat Shalom, your sermon was too long." Came over a third time, "Shabbat Shalom, you didn't prepare very well." Finally, I went over to the president of the synagogue. I said, "Excuse me, who is that gentleman standing off there by himself?" She said, "Don't pay any attention to him. He has some problems. He likes to walk around repeating everything he hears." I think it was the teenagers of this. I walked into the men's room, and on the electric hand dryer that blows hot air, someone had put a little yellow Post-it note reading, "Press here for a message from the rabbi." Hot air, if you didn't get that. Okay. That's the weakest joke of the night. Okay. I'll reconsider doing that. Boom. So, did tons of weddings. The worst weddings had to be the outdoor summer events. I had a congregation in Philadelphia, and people would select the location in the winter or spring, not realizing or remembering how dreadful it is in Philadelphia during July and August. I had one wedding, an outdoor wedding. It was 99 degrees out. Everyone stayed in the air-conditioned reception room to the very last moment. When it was time to begin, the ushers escorted all the elderly people out first, as a kind of a courtesy, so the older folks could spend just a little extra time in the heat and humidity. The couple dragged themselves down the aisle. When they reached me, the bride looked at me imploringly. She said, "Rabbi, it's so hot. Could you please make it a quick ceremony?" I said, "Do you both want to be married?" They said yes. I said, "You are." Another wedding, the temperature was great. It was autumn, beautiful day. We were set up outdoors in front of a pond. Things went very nicely until about halfway through the ceremony, when it seems as if the entire goose population of Ottawa decided to come down for a pit stop in the pond behind me. Because once they landed, they had to discuss their journey with great enthusiasm. I had no choice. I had to stop everything. I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, try to ignore the commotion behind me. It's just the pâté warming up." And I'd been one very nervous groom. I said, "Phil, would you please face Nancy and recite the vows?" He said, A-E-I-O.